Hi, my name is David Rauschuber from Craftmade. In earlier videos, we've talked about doing Wi-Fi fans. Craftmade also offers with bond Wi-Fi switches. We offer an on and off switch that's smart, that just functions on and off, and the purpose for that is if you're using fluorescent or other fixtures that can't be dimmed, you want to use that on and off switch. This one is our smart switch that's fully dimmable. It has a memory setting, so wherever you turn it on, off, up and down as far as the intensity of the light, you just hit the center button, it comes back to that setting. This is a really great switch. It is able to do three-way function as well. We'll show you that in the next video. But for now, we're going to put it into this single gang box. We're going to control this foyer light. It's an LED light fixture, so you'll see how that works. So now that you've got your switch out of the wall and you're ready to install your smart switch, it's important, and it's a little bit different than other switches because you have to make sure you use the neutral wire. The neutral wire actually carries a little bit of a voltage, which keeps the switch kind of powered on in the back, so that when you're using the remote control, using your smart app, it can recognize it. So it's kind of a on state all the time, for lack of a better word. And you'll see that green button will be on the side. So this is your line wire. So that goes to the load coming into the box. Then you have your load wire that goes to your fixture, your neutral that goes to your neutral, and obviously your ground wire that goes to your ground. Okay, now that you've got your wires all done, you've got your switch tucked back in the wall, your switch plate back on, we've turned the power back on. And anytime you're messing with electrical, please make sure you turn the power off at your breaker. So now that this is done, I just want to demo real quick. You can see the light fixture. It's on full power. You have green lights here to indicate full power. So you hold the button down and you'll see that the fixture is fully dimming. So that's dimmed almost all the way down. We'll go a little bit more. There you go. So we'll go back up. Now, what's nice about this is I'm going to go halfway, and I'm going to leave it right there. What's really neat is if you hit the center button one time, it turns all the way off. You hit the center button one more time, it comes back to the last setting. So that's important to remember. So when you come back into the room and you hit the button, if you touch the top button, it starts on its lowest setting, and you've got to go back up. So your memory is on the on and off. So again, boom, it's on, off, and then back on. So at this point, on your smartphone or your iPad, I'm using an iPad here so it's easier for you guys to see, you go and load the Bond app from the App Store or the Android store. Once you've got it loaded onto your device, you go ahead and touch on it, and it pops up. You'll need to go through the initial settings, so you'll put in your email account, set up a password, and create a quick account, and then it'll come to this screen here to add devices. In a previous video, we added a ceiling fan, so this time we're going to add another device. We're creating our home little ecosystem here with all of our smart devices. So in order to do that, you just come up here to the little plus, you hit the plus here, and it says ceiling fans right now, but in the future it'll add switches because the switches are new. So touch the ceiling fan, and then once that pops up, then you want to add your new product. So at this point, you see it says scan a barcode. That's for future. We're starting to update the app. So what that'll do is you'll have a little barcode on your product. You can scan it with the camera on your smartphone or on your iPad, and it'll do what we're getting ready to do automatically. So what we're going to do from here is we're going to swipe up, and we're going to go to settings, and then we're going to go to Wi-Fi and recognize the device. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to pair the switch. So you got to put the switch into pairing mode. So if you hold the button down, you'll see it flashing. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to look for it. It's going to come up Bond device on your devices to choose from. So just give it a second here while it's looking for it. So now that you see your device has been loaded on, you'll say Bond configure. So from there, you touch on that, and it'll pop up. Just give it a second. It's looking for the device. So it's making that handshake, so you can see the blue check. So now that that's done, you want to go back to the app. So we'll get out of that, go back to the app, and boom, it goes to the next screen. You don't have to touch anything or do anything. So from there, you hit continue. Once you've done that, it says update available. Sometimes this is necessary depending on firmware updates. So at this time it wants to go ahead and do the update. So we'll touch the update and run through the update. So now that you can see it's done the download, it's doing its connection, and now it has made its update and it's brought the app up to speed. So now we're going to test the light. You're going to see the light will change here when we hit the button. So boom, now we know that it works, and say yes, it works, and that's great. So what you have now is you have, it's My Dimmer right now, so we'll probably change that name. You got to find your room. So this one is in the living room area, or front door, but I don't think we have that option posted on here yet. So we're just going to say living room for now and hit save, and we're good to go. So that's what it takes. So now that we've done that, we'll go ahead and go back over here. So it's configuring it to your Wi-Fi. Here at my house, I have a 5 gigahertz and a 2 gigahertz. You want to run all of your devices on 2 gigahertz. So we're going to hit 2 gigahertz, and we're going to type in our password real quick. Once that's done, it's connecting it to your network. So we're creating our ecosystem again. The more products you add, the more functionality you have in your home, and the more it makes just life easier. It's great. So we'll make that connection. All right, let's bring in the dimmer online. Again, just be patient. It takes just a few minutes to get this done. There we go. All right, so we've synced up. Our configuration is done. It's all ready to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here. We're going to take a look at our dimmer, and you'll see that it's on function. This means that it's at its full brightness. Now, one thing that I want you to pay attention to is what makes it smart from your mobile phone or your iPad is how the dimmer reacts. So I'm going to dim this down a little bit. You simply drag my finger and go, and you'll see that the dimmer actually dimmed right there. So we'll hit the on and off. So watch the lights after I hit the on and off. It actually happens almost simultaneously. Touch it, and boom, it's off. So we'll touch it again. It comes back on to your last setting, or you can go and make it a full bright, and you go here and watch the switch, and it's done there. And the opposite is true. You hit the button here, it turns it off. You'll see in the app that it's off, and hit it again, and it's back on. So it's really nice. So now we have an extra switch in our ecosystem here. And so now we have 2 smart devices in our home. So from time to time, what you'll see in the app, the icons will tell you something. So obviously the first one is a fan, and it has a green light. And then you have My Dimmer in the living room here, and it's got an orange light. Whenever you see something like that, it means that it needs to do an update. So what you do is you simply touch on it, open the app, and you can see your device. Then you come over here to settings where you see the 1. We touch on that, and it comes over, and it says here that it needs to do a firmware update. You can see the little orange button there, and you touch on that, and it's asking for the update. So we hit that, and it'll run the update. So the update is now complete. It shows that you're in your current version. This is all great. So now that we're done with all of that, we're just going to go back here to the switch. And one of the things I also talk about while we're here is advanced settings. So that's kind of a neat little feature. So you can touch on that. Advanced settings allows you to do a couple of different things. If you want to turn off the dimming function, you actually can override that. So, right now it's showing what the functionality is. If you want to turn that off, you can turn that off, and then the switch just becomes a on and off. One of the other interesting things that you probably need to know, especially if you're working with LED light bulbs or integrated LED fixtures, is in this Manage Light and Dimmer, when you touch that, it has a low end trim. And what that's about is LED bulbs and LED integrated fixtures all have different power capacities. And so what can happen is when you dim it down, it can start flickering when it gets below a certain power point. And how you adjust that here, it's got 1%, so we can pull this fixture all the way down. If you don't want to do that because you're getting flicker, you can increase the power by simply scrolling up, getting it to where it likes and it stays on. It's dim, but it's not flickering. So that's what that does. And it's very simple to do. Once you've done that, you just tap on where you want to be and set it, and you're good to go. So now you can see I've got it set for 2%. So it's that easy, and again, a lot of functionality here. So that's how you install a smart dimming switch. I really enjoy these things. I've got them in my house. Obviously, this one's in my home. I really enjoy Wi-Fi products. They make life so much easier. So I hope you found this video helpful, and we'll have some more coming soon.